Hello friends. So today we will have a look at surveying and leveling curve surveying. Curves are very important, especially whenever we are trying to have road network, railway network or canals. At so many places we need curves because we need to connect straight alignments. The curves could be in horizontal plane, the curves could be in vertical plane. So let us see in this chapter how we do the laying out of curves. First thing is the necessity. During the alignment of roads or railway tracks, or say even canals, most often two straight lines meet one another at a well-defined point. When the vehicle is trying to move over this alignment, from one alignment when it tries to go to the other alignment, there is no smooth transfer. The movement from one alignment to another alignment, there is no smooth transfer. So in order to create the smooth transfer from one straight line to the other, we need to connect the two alignments by means of a curve. The alignment is shown over here in a red line. There is another alignment shown over here in another red line. So if the vehicle is trying to move on this first line and then trying to change and go on the other, when it comes to the intersection point, it is very uncomfortable. It creates total discomfort to the traveler. So that is the reason why we need to smoothen it out. We need to smoothen this sharp turn, sharp movement from one direction to another by providing a curve. The amount by which the second alignment has moved from the first one, that the second alignment has changed with respect to the first one, the amount by which the second alignment has changed its direction with respect to the first one, this angle is known as the deflection angle. We have seen the deflection angle, the definition of which in the theodolite. Okay, so over here we talk of one alignment and the change in the direction of the other alignment with respect to the first one, that is called as the deflection angle. Now if this curve is provided in a horizontal plane, it is called as the horizontal curve, but whereas if it is in a vertical plane, it is called as the vertical curve. Now let us look at the classification of curves. How many types of curves are there? The curves, the basic differences, there can be horizontal curves, as I said, in the horizontal plane, or there can be vertical curves which are in the vertical plane. Coming to the horizontal curves, we have circular curves, or we have transition curves, and we have combination of these two. Coming to the circular curves, we have simple circular curves. Simple circular curves which will be having only one turning radius. We don't have to turn and change the radius. There are compound curves in which the radii go on changing, and there are reverse curves. The direction goes on changing. Then we have something called as transition curves. In the transition curves, we can have the cubic equation curves. We can have the clothoid curves. We can have the lemniscate curve. These are all the special ones with the special geometry. And we can have cubic spiral curves. Then in the combined curves, as I have mentioned earlier, there can be different combinations of these curves. Now coming to the vertical curves. Now when we talk of the vertical curves, we have said vertical curves are the curves in the vertical plane. Now in the vertical plane, there are summit curves, there can be valley curves. Now what are the summit curves? Summit curves are the ones which are right at the summit, right at the top. Okay, then we can be having valley curves. Okay, valley curves which are at the bottommost point. The vertical plane comes and meets the bottommost point and then changes into vertical again. In the summit is exactly opposite of the vertical curve. Then we can be having the curves in which the vertical curves in which the inclined gradient, the upward gradient meets another upward gradient. Both gradients are different, and so on. And then we are having curves similar to the definition of the horizontal curves, something like We could be having simple circular curves, in vertical curves. We could be having reverse curves, compound curves, or transition curves. So curves, when we talk of the types which are there in the horizontal one, the same types could be there also in the vertical curves. We could be having something like simple with single radius. We could be having compound with multiple radius. We could be having reverse once it is going upward and then downward, something like summit and valley at the same time. So similarly, we can be having different combinations of different curves, okay, which will be making the life of the person who is using the road easier and comfortable. So that life of the person who is supposed to use the road is in our hands, who are designing the curves. Now when we come to the basic definition of curves, what is a simple curve? A simple curve, a simple curve is a curve having only one radius. It's having tangent. The curve starts here at the point T1, curve ends here at the point T2. Now throughout this curve, right from the first point to the last point, the radius does not go on changing. The radius remains the same. It is one unique radius for this, okay, from one point to the other. That's the definition of a simple circular curve. Coming to the compound curve, the figure has been shown over here. If you observe, there is one curve over here with one radius, that is R1 from here to here. That means from the point T1 till the point T2, the curve does not change its radius. The radius remains constant till the point T2, and then from the point T2 till the point T3, these are the tangent points, there is a different radius. If you observe, the radius changes from R1 to R2. So the first curve has the first tangent point as T1, the other tangent point as T2. The second curve starts from the previous tangent point, the end tangent point of the previous one, that is T2, and ends at T3. So the first one could be having a deflection angle which is phi 1. Second one may be having a similar deflection angle or may be having a different angle. Now whenever we are talking of a compound curve, it has one common tangent. It has one common tangent. Look at this. The curve has one tangent here, another tangent here. This curve has one tangent here, another tangent here. Now both these curves have one common tangent. Also, another thing which happens is that both these curves, when we call them as compound curves, they will be having centers of the curves, of the circular curves. Centers will be on the same side of the tangent. They will be on the same side of the tangent. So compound curve is a curve which is made up of two or more arcs. Here we have shown two arcs. There could be continuation with more, of different radii, and having the arcs lying on the same side of the common tangent. Therefore, the centers of all the arcs of the compound curve are on the same side of the common tangent. Note one thing over here. Whenever the driver or the rider is going on this curve, no sooner he touches point T2, he will have to change, okay, because the radius has changed. He will have to change the direction because the radius has changed. Whereas in this case, right from in the simple circular curve, right from point T1 till T2, if he has changed the steering, he need not change it again, because till the point T2 the R does not change. Over here from T1 to T2 it remains same. From T2 to T3 he will have to change. Now coming to another definition, that is reverse curve. Now reverse curve also is a multiple curve formula over here. A multiple curve, there is one curve as well as another curve. Now this first curve has one radius. The second curve may also have the same value of the radius, but did you notice one is on one side, the center of the first curve is on one side, and of the second curve is on the other side. So it goes reverse from this side to this side. It goes reverse. It starts and forms a S shape over here. So the rider has to change the direction no sooner he has reached point T2 and then he has to move further till T3, and then maybe it's a straight alignment further on. So a reverse curve is a curve having two arcs, or maybe more. We can be having more than this, of same radii or different radii in opposite directions, connected by a common tangent. Now over here we have this as a common tangent. For the first arc, this is one tangent, this is second tangent. For the second arc, this is the one tangent, this is the second tangent. Now this tangent, like as in the case of compound curve, we have this tangent as a common tangent for both the arcs. But the special peculiarity of this, the center of each of them lie on the opposite sides of the tangent or opposite sides of the curve. So that is what is more important. Now coming to the definition of a transition curve. Now transition curve, when you look at it, look at this. It starts from one point and ends at another point. This full yellow region is my simple circular curve. Now from the end where my tangent would have started to the connecting of the straight alignment, what is done is, at this point my radius is a finite radius, is a known radius, but where there is a straight alignment, the radius over here would be infinite because there is hardly any curve over here, it is flat. So the radius changes from infinite to finite, a long radius to a known, well-known, well-defined radius. Now that curve which joins the straight alignment to the simple circular curve, this particular curve is called as the transition curve. Similarly over here, that's my transition curve. So transition curve is a curve which is made up of varying radii connecting the tangential point of the simple curve to the straight alignment. It is also called as easement curve, or it is also known as spiral curve. These are the other two names which are given to that.